Is he even listening? All those prayers unanswered. You're fooling yourself.
God, a myth for the weak. Look at the world. Chaos, suffering. Where's your savior now?
What kind of man are you? Always second guessing, never decisive. Real men lead, you follow. You falter, pathetic. Choices define you.
She deserves better. Your love is weak, unreliable.
How long would you see the fraud? You're not the rock. You're crumbling sand.
Daddy, you're supposed to protect, teach, inspire. But look, failures pile up. What legacy are you leaving?
The battle within never ends. Fight me if you can.
Right now, open the door. Open the door.
I listen to everybody else's perspective. As I try to give mine, I get pushback, cut off, pushback, cut off, pushback, cut off. So I'm just trying to wait so I can at least get my full thought out so that you can at least understand where I'm coming from. But I understand, I get it. It's so different from what other people feel is right that they can't help but to jump up and say, no, you're wrong, modern woman, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. But I just want to give my perspective, like I let everybody give their perspective. I want to be heard like everybody else is heard on the panel. I'm waiting patiently. I'm being quiet, even when they jump in on me. The first few, I'm patient. But it's five at a time. They just, it's nonstop. So it's like, okay, now I'm getting irritated. Then
I think that for me, like growing up and being in certain environments, and I'm very observant when I go out and how I am around people. And what I've seen, that has happened to me, how people backstab people very quickly and how girls turn on girls and how guys be messing with their homeboys chicks. And I just don't think like everybody wants to call everybody their friend. Well, that's cool. They can do that, but I don't do that. I think that calling someone your friend or your family, I take very highly of that. So just because you have conversations online with somebody, okay, you want to think that's your friend, cool, right? But me, I don't treat it like that because I feel like trust has to be earned with me. So when trust is earned during a certain time period, then you might, get up to that extra level, then the extra level, then you might become a friend.
I think pretty much just like LA, except minus the beaches for the most part. And I had a culture shock when I moved out here, though. All these black people, I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of black people here, but I don't see a bunch of anybody else here like how I see in LA. So that was a culture shock for me, most definitely. In the club scene out here is way better, in my opinion, just because if they stay open later.
How late?
Well, back in the 90s, in the 1900s, as my kids would say.
Oh, they're wrong for that one.
Yeah. But back in the 90s, the clubs would close in LA at like around maybe 2, maybe 3 o'clock, if I remember correctly. I think it was 3 o'clock. It definitely wasn't no 4 o'clock.
So around that time, a lot of us would go over to the manosphere spaces or whatever. And what a lot of us started noticing, or at least this is what I noticed individually, and I didn't find out till later that a lot of guys had that same concern, which was whenever we brought up topics that were more specific to black men's experiences, you know, it was kind of like they didn't want to touch on those topics. They wanted to keep the topics more general, just about men in general. But the problem was there were certain issues that were more specific to black men that we wanted to address. So when I started, you know, putting out my content, there were other guys that came along, and this is after what we call like 1.0. Like those brothers that I just named, like Thug Titian and all of them, they don't call themselves Black Manosphere, but people that came after them, me and a few other guys, I started calling it Black Manosphere to kind of separate and differentiate ourselves from the other group. And so because we wanted to pay homage to the dudes that came before us, we started calling it 2.0. So 1.0, even though that's an unofficial name, it was meant to basically pay homage to the dudes that came before us. But when 2.0 came in, we kind of took things, you know, to another level. We kind of took things to another level with a lot of guys having a great deal of success. You know what I'm saying? Some of the names like Kevin Samuels, you know, there's a few guys. I won't mention everybody, but there are even guys that are not technically what you would call Black Manosphere, but they kind of fall under the same umbrella because people forcibly put them under that umbrella, even though they don't really identify as that. You feel what I'm saying?
I am sorry, those on YouTube. My bad. I had the thing muted. But yeah, let me start again. Welcome to the BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. Those who are watching me on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Yes, people from Clubhouse are here as well. I took the day off from work. A lot of changes going on in my private life, and I gotta make some adjustments. I'm going back to work first thing in the morning. Glory to God for that. But I just had to take some time off. Too much is going on in my personal life. And right now, for those who just saw me on camera hop up, and if you saw my legs, hey, it is what it is. I wear shorts, believe it or not. I don't wear them damn shorts that they got these new niggas wearing. Shorts, they're wearing their girlfriend shorts out in public. I don't condone that shit. But I had to run outside because there was helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, military helicopters, for those who don't know, flying above my house all for the most part this morning. Last, I would say 30 minutes ago, I saw about 8 of them heading northeast, and now I just saw 5 or 6 of them going in the same direction. And I don't know. So this is not quick hits, not yet. I got my 3 topics, and I'm gonna touch on. We're gonna keep it moving. Let me briefly bring this up regarding what's going on overseas with this military. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be responsible. Hold on. Moha, regarding the war, the bombing, you could jump in at anytime. But
What war?
whatever this bomb is going on, I expect it to last about a few weeks. That we're gonna go back to normal. But if you want to jump in and speak on it, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Israel did their thing, in America for bombing and killing or unaliving, as they say. The Ayatollah, you know what I mean? I actually applaud the U.S. for that.
So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I guess I'll make a segment out of this. Um, this war between Israel and Iran are this been going on way before I was born, and it's just not going to stop.
1979.
Say what?
Yeah, 1979.
1979, right? And I expect this to end in in a few weeks, and we're going to be back here again in another 10 or 15 years. That's honestly what I project. So Iran struck to my knowledge, Iran struck a military base. Ace one. Iran struck a military base. U.S. retaliated by striking a school, killing. I don't remember the number count, but I think it was dozens. All girls school to be exact. Iran the only bodies Iran caught was like 4. Regarding the Iran side, they racked up over 500 dead of their own people dead. So is there going to be a ceasefire? I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. I'm not that savvy in this realm of war, politics, whatever you want to say. All I'm going to say is this. Do I believe this has anything to do with us? No. However, Israel's an ally, so I understand. Now, regarding this guy, the Ayatollah who got airstruck and killed, there are. Oh, let me change that banner. Crap. There are. I will say this: go look up how many deaths he's responsible for. So I personally, I understand. I literally understand. What I don't understand is why are black people siding with Iran in this? Put religious belief to the side. I totally understand that. Zero problems. I'm a little bit confused why black people is supporting this. because they say since they are anti-America, they're pro everything else. You are anti-America, you're pro everything else. Yeah, here's my thoughts on that.
Man, it was super kick.
So, to the black people that are looking for a moment and want to throw mud at the wall to see if it will last forever, knock it off. That much I do know. You look like a fucking restart. You sound like a restart. Know what's going on, get all the information before you choose a side. You don't have enough information to tell me why you are pro Iran in this. That is a fact. From the nonsense that I heard the past couple of days, that is a fact. This is why I understand why some people should not have access to the internet because of stupid shit that I have been hearing. So to my people, stop being a restart. That was a sidebar. Now, Moa, you said you're okay with the killing of the Ayatollah?
Yes, 1,000%.
Okay, can you give us more detail if you want to? If not, I understand.
Yes. Yeah, no. So the Ayatollah and the whole regime of Iran, they actually are oppressing their people since the 1979. So that's what 47 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, the Iranian people deserve to be free. You know what I mean? They deserve democracy. They deserve freedom. Like you said, I don't understand why black people are, you know what I mean, supporting everything besides America. Why they're anti-American, I don't get it either.
Yeah, I know it's confusing to me. Maybe I'll come across someone who can actually articulate and substantiate the reason of supporting Iran over America. But if it's on some the same goofy shit that we've been hearing for the past years about how America has done black people or vice versa, I'm not interested in those conversations. So I'll make sure I go out my way to ignore it. But that's a quick thing I wanted to speak on World War Three. Maybe this does this qualify as World War Three? I don't know, but that's what I've been hearing from credible sources that this is similar to World War Three. And if it is, here we are. So it is what it is. All I'm gonna say is this. Also, one more thing. That mass shooting that took place in Austin, Texas, did that have anything to do with what's going on overseas? I don't have any information to confirm that. I would tell people until such information is solidified, do not jump out there. Stop rushing to be first, rush to be right. That he's I don't think he's an American born citizen. There's a specific name. I know he's from Senegal. He's 50 something years old, walked around Austin with the strap and killing people, saying property of Allah, wearing Iran's colors underneath the shirt. One thing I will say this: until such evidence is proven, that is a isolated situation, and I really wish people stop rushing out there just to be first. Like I said, we rush to be right, not first. That's what I'm going to say about that. So, I had to quickly touch on that. Now we can get into the regular show, ladies and gentlemen. Where is my banner? Here we go. Let's get into some quick hits, shall we? Now, I saw this moments ago, and I had to speak on it while my desktop is loading. With all these changes that I'm about to go through, best believe this is going to come with me getting a new computer or a desktop or something, because this is ridiculous. So, first news. Let me put. Okay, we can leave that there. Will Smith and Chris Rock reportedly set for a one-on-one interview with ABC News. Will Smith and Chris Rock are reportedly preparing to sit down face-to-face for an exclusive one-on-one interview with ABC News, making what could be their first public conversation since Oscar incidents. This with me reading that, I I'm glad that they're gonna have a sit down conversation. That is very much needed. I think that needs to be done behind closed doors because tensions are easy, tensions are high. Now, do I think Will Smith is remorseful and regrets that decision every day he wakes up? Every single day that he wakes up. Matter of fact, I was the one that said from the time of that Oscar incident to now, I said I give it 5 years. I give it 5 years, 10 tops. He's gonna delete himself. Given what Will Smith was going through at home eternally, how his wife publicly embarrassed him, and how everybody is making fun of Will, I said this is it. And this is one of those things like, please let me be wrong. Glory to God, according to Will, there's people surrounding him who was able to comfort him and build him back up. Floyd Mayweather being one of them. So with all of that, I'm glad it seems like he's in a better space now, based off of the usual avenues that we do see him in. He sees calm, he sees clearer, and everything is good. And as far as the marriage, I don't know. I deliberately stay out of that. Although I know that they're going to ride that thing till the wheels fall off, according to them. So, with that, I wish this interview would take place behind the scenes. And I know Chris Rock, from what was told, or let me rephrase that before I get in trouble. From what was posted online, Chris Rock, Tony Rock, and the family still don't fuck with Will Smith, and they're still not happy about what took place. So a sit down conversation, one-on-one conversation does need to be had. Do I think cameras need to be there? No. Do I think a mediator needs to be there? Sure. Just to make sure it doesn't get violent with our content. But hey, I will say shout out to the brothers. At least they gonna come together and have a seat. Next up, Tom Holland and Zendaya have reported already gotten married. According to comic book, we might still be waiting for Peter and MJ's happily ever after in MCU, but Tom Holland and Zendaya have reportedly gotten together. News source was some hairstylists closer to them. One thing I do like is privacy, especially amongst celebrities. I appreciate the fact we we're gonna get engaged, or at least keep it to family. We're gonna get engaged. Excuse me. We're gonna get married, and we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna be straight like that. I have zero problems with that. We've seen it on this app twice. The latest was obviously Cat and King Midas. Everything was kept under wraps. Only a handful of people knew, and when they went public, it's the first time we knew about it. They went. They said, I remember IRL, King, Midas, and Cat. And I was like, for real? Congratulations. That's something I always implore people to do. You don't have to make a spectacle about everything. But for those two to get married, I'm happy for it. I hope everything works out between those two. I hope it lasts. I don't believe in just get married, just look it in tragically or in a divorce. So I hope it works. Shout out to Tom Holland and Zendaya. Now, while I try to get this posted, let me see, can I do it like this? Damn it. This okay. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay. I got a video I want to show you guys. I'll put it like this. While I'm getting this set up. Boston Richie, never heard of him. His girlfriend, Tatiana Chanel, still haven't heard of her. Admits she was only with him for money and materialistic reasons. Can't say that I am surprised, but hold on, let me do this. Share screen so you guys can see this video for yourselves. And let's pray that it doesn't let's pray it doesn't mute or whatever. But let's let me. Okay, we're here. Good. Let me play the video. I'm gonna mute this. Hopefully this works.
I was just Christina. There. Christina. I was just there. Yeah. But I feel that. I don't know. So then what kept you in that relationship then? I'll fuck with your chain. I'll put gas around your neck. I'm a BB every chain. What are you talking about? Thank you. Just want to line up. Okay. Like 2.5 years. No, I don't know how you did that hard time, baby. I can't pass 2.5. I don't know. 2.5. I don't even think I made it past 2.5. But like I said, I was just there. When you have a plan, you execute that plan. You was looking like Charles, but I even met black woman. I was just there. Christina. I was just there. Yeah. But okay, I feel that. I don't know. So then what kept you in that relationship then? I'm a BB every chain. What are you talking about? I just want to line up. Okay.
Sorry, it's gonna take a while for me to do this. And like I said, don't worry, I'm eventually gonna work on getting a better computer, trust me. All right, so basically with that goofy ass situation, Tatiana says she was only with homeboy, whoever he is, because the money, the materialistic shit. So we all know what time it is.
She belongs to the streets.
Her ass belongs to the streets.
That's the way y'all like them now.
That her ass belong to the streets. Let me, matter of fact, let me play it again on principle base.
She belongs to the streets.
That chick belongs to the streets, 1000%. Now, let me get to what Swan just stated. She said, y'all like the, I don't know who y'all is. I'm sophisticated. I'm good. What? But when it comes to the situation, like I said, I don't know who homeboy is. I can't even assume that he's a rapper. I'm not even gonna do that. But or streamer. I don't know who he is. But one thing I am gonna say is this: if you're leading with money, then expect those type of brides.
She belongs to the streets.
You're gonna get those every single time. Every single time. If you keep leading with money, you're going to get those type of chicks, and you get those type of chicks, you get what you deserve.
She belongs to the streets.
So, fellas, when you see them dust buckets, leave them alone. When you see these termites, leave them alone. And also vice versa, because women got a bag of their own too, and they're mad homosexuals out there. You know,
she belongs to the streets.
Let's not act like niggas can't be from the streets as well. So, with that, fellas, be careful with your money and your materials. Ladies, go get a job. Go find some extra income. Go do what you gotta do, because this looks goofy and it looks corny. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Quick Hits. Stage, before we get to the title, the floor is yours. What's your take? Heads up, Will Smith and Chris Rock will be doing a one-on-one sit-down interview. Tom Holland's dad got married, and homeboy got finessed for 2.5 years. What's your take on that?
Yeah, what's up, Chris? I got a meeting at 2:30, so I'm just gonna chime in real quick.
Yes,
This
sir.
on what you just said. So the issue is there's a certain type of woman that you can only get for pay for play.
She belongs to the streets.
Negotiate down. Okay, they're gonna start with 10,000 a month, $1,000 a month. Ridiculous numbers, right?
She belongs to the streets.
White men in particular. But what you got to do as a black man is say, listen, okay, I understand that you're offering it, you're selling it, offer a reasonable price. And
she belongs to the streets.
They might circle back 3 months later, 6 months later, sometimes even a year later.
She belongs to the streets.
Reasonable price. So don't do the date. Say, listen, I will get you a discount Michael Kors bag that costs maybe $150, $200 max from TJ Maxx, from what's that other store?
Ross, Marshalls.
Even Costco got some good discount luxury goods.
Costco. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, you different. You different.
Exactly. Like, I am a Costco sugar daddy, okay? You are going to get a Costco Splendid daddy. So this is the key, okay? Because some of these women, you're not going to be able to charm them. You're not going to be able to talk because every dude done said something to them. So the way you could cut to the chase is to just offer something reasonable. And listen, like I said, 75% will decline immediately, but they will circle back eventually because they will run out of options.
That is crazy.
Like I said, those are the women that y'all like. So I don't want to hear nothing about you got juked, you got duped. You got what you paid for, right? And when you stop being able to pay, then you stop being able to play. These are the women that y'all pursue, that you covet, that you love, and that you uphold and put on a pedestal. So you get what you came for. Going on mute.
But Swan, those are the men who believe that they are doing it the right way. They are taking them to with Chris. And what I'm saying is, don't do all of the extra stuff. Just negotiate down. If they did that, they wouldn't be on social media complaining about the situation. Because again, if you want a certain type of natural BBL woman, you're going to have to pay. Just try to pay.
Time out. That's an oxymoron. What is a natural BBL woman?
A natural BBL woman is a Beyonce with a Bernice Burgos, but is natural. Like it's not synthetic. So
she got a butt reduction, by the way.
Or a cake.
Bernice Burgos, not Beyonce. I ain't trying to get in trouble online, but yeah. Throwing that out there.
That is the natural BBL. They just naturally built like that. You're going to have to pay because it's supply and demand. These days, they got big backs, not big butts. So you're gonna if you got a big butt and a slim waist, you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah. So I hear you. I ain't doing it. It ain't gonna happen for me. You can content can. I'm gonna say Swan because I'm not saying she's looking because I'll be disrespectful. But there's a lot of. Well, first of all, on the natural side, you have a lot of women who are very natural and who's just not going to spend that type of money. So and they don't have to. So that's the benefits of staying down here, Texas to be exact. So that's number one. Number two, pay to play. And you said Costco's. I ain't never heard that one a day in my life. And quite frankly, if you're a chick, if you if you belong to the streets,
she belongs to the streets.
You come across a man that's willing to take you to Costco's, that's a fucking come up. I got to be honest, because I ain't never heard that one before. I'm like, you got somebody paying a membership and is willing to keep you entertained. So that means chicks are going for the Costco's. That is insane. Okay, we are definitely gonna. I might have to do a separate room about that one down the road. Or nerd, you can have the title. You got that. I'll pull up whenever you do that room if I'm free. But if you got no more, let's keep it moving because I just remember we're definitely doing a hard out at 2:30 because I got to head to the other side of town. Or actually, 2:15 we're doing a hard out because I gotta go. Um, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Clubhouse. So, title of the room: Double standards are your downfall. Double standards are your downfall, ladies and gentlemen. How did we get here? Life got us here, quite frankly. When it comes to situations that we find ourselves in, we always notice that it's okay if one side does it, but if another side decides to do the same thing, they like to throw in the double standard card and say because of how societal structures and how things are set up, we can do this, but you can't. Men can sleep with a bunch of women. Women can't. Women can get in free into the club 5 minutes before the club closed. Men got to pay full price or double. You hear these double standards all the time. Here's my take on this. When it comes to double standards, the only time that is applicable is when biology is presented. I don't have, as men, we don't have periods, we don't PMS, we don't menopause, we don't do none of that stuff. Women do, because that's how biology and that's how God has it set up, and it is what it is. You don't see me complaining. And when it comes to other stuff about androgen, when it comes to testosterone, erections, and all this other stuff, that's for the men, obviously. I don't know any woman that gets an erection, nor do I want to know. Then again, if a woman got a penis, that's a man anyway, but that's neither here nor there. So, with all of that being said, biology is the only place where you can say, quote unquote, double standards exist, but it's not really double standards, that's just biology. So now we got to really understand, ask the question, does double standards really exist in society? Now, if you have something set up, then a principle or a foundation set up, you could do this. Now, I'm not going to mention Homeboy's name, but we had this conversation. I can't remember whose room we had this conversation in, but he's one of those people on this app that is, he's a great value version of said and 10. Put those two brothers combined, get combine the great value version. That's him. Content Swan knows who I'm talking about because he frequents Welcome to Louisiana all the time. People care for him. I don't. And they would say, what's your issue with him? Because he's trying to press me and say, what's your issue with me? What's your issue with me? And I said, when it comes to, I'm sorry, y'all, I got more Black Hawk helicopters flying above my location again. They've been doing this all fucking day. But when it comes to accountability, what's your take up? I said, what is your take about holding adults accountable? Notice I did not say men or women. I said, what's your thing about holding adults accountable? He said, accountability is subjective. And obviously, there's some adults that agree with that. I discontinued the conversation once he said that. You know why I discontinued the conversation once he said that? Because that means you're going to hold men to this standard or high regard or whatever. That's fine and that's fair. You're not going to hold women to that same thing. Let's do this. If a man cheats on his spouse, I am going to crucify him to the high heavens. He will too. If a woman cheats on his spouse, I'm going to crucify her to the high heavens. He's going to give her a pass. How my principles are set up, if you are going to catch hell from me based off of the act that you did. The end. I don't care if you was born with XX chromosomes or XY chromosome or whatever in between. It doesn't matter. Based off of principles alone, I'm going to hold you to that standard. And it does not change because one has a vagina and the other one has a penis. I don't do that shit. When it comes to doubles, this is why I go hard like I do on the app. Days like Chris, why are you getting on women the same way you get on men and vice versa? Because this is what I believe in, and I expect to be held to those same standards as well. Women in my life get held to that same standards, and they are great. And they are great. Hold on, then I'm gonna give it to you. And they are great because of it, and vice versa. They're not opposed to check me on anything. Anybody that's in my circle, matter of fact, the people on the stage qualifies to be in my circle, and they can check me on anything and everything, and I'll sit there and be like, you fucking right. You're right about that. My bad. Let me go and fix that. But also I expect them to hold any female in the circle to the same degree as well. I was like, don't pull back because they're female. I don't want to hear none of that shit. They're adults at the end of the day. They've been on this earth. They have to do their time on this planet just like you did. Like, for example, I rock with Swan. Swan and her 5'2" self. And I say this respectfully, Swan, and I'm saying this because I love you. She's a pit bull. Not in the face. Not in the face. Not at all. I'm talking about eternally. She's a pit bull. Bite your fucking head off. Go easy on her because she's a female if you want to, and you will regret it. Them double standards, ladies and gentlemen, get rid of them. Double standards doesn't exist. Because I was going to say biology, content, you ain't shit. I was going to say biology is where double standards exist, but if it's biology, there's no such thing as double standards. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, that's a talking point to debunk, if anything. There's no such thing as a double standard when it comes to biology. It's just biology. And I think you have some core principles, ladies and gentlemen, double standards should never exist. You know what? I might have to reframe this show for a talking point debunk because there's no such thing as a double standard. And that's my monologue regarding that. I'm gonna give it to the stage. What do you Nerd, you wanted to go first?
Yeah. My thing with the cheating double standard is it to the biology point, it has to be different because if let's say they both did not use a condom, um, the man can get a pass if he did not transmit a STD or a baby out of wedlock or a side baby because the man is giving, right? The woman is receiving. So if you cheated on a man and you let a new man blast raw, you are now underneath that man. So that's why it is different if a condom was not used because of the difference in the mechanics. You can't say it's equal because the man did not retain anything. We don't retain, we produce. So a man producing into a condom for another woman is not really anything much. Again, if nothing was transmitted, right? But for a woman to receive a man's biological essence into your body while you're in a relationship with another man, it's simply not the same. That woman cannot be forgiven because you have decided to sign up for a new program. So unfortunately, it is a double standard. It's not the same.
You mixed biology with social construct. So let's go through the biology part first, then we'll get to the social part. Now, when it comes to and Miles, can you let people up, please, if you can? But when it comes to biology, I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say um, regarding that. So On the biology part, if they have sex and they caught something, that's a two-way street. That's biology. Or if she gets pregnant, she didn't get pregnant by herself. Two-way street. All of that, that's biology at the end of the day. Biology can prove that. I'm not worried about that. So that's why I say there's no such thing as double standards when biology is presented, because that's just biology. That's just science. So we can put that to the side. Now, when it comes to the social construct that you brought up, the societal construct, say that again, because I was a little bit confused when you was mixing the two.
Well, it's kind of both, because as a woman, if you get pregnant and you are going to put your life at risk, because Black women love to call this out, that they have the most maternal death rates in America. So if a woman is willing to put her life on the line for a new dude, um, to me it mixes both, because that means that you are ready to give your life to produce this man's child potentially. So it's different, because the man, I'm not going to say he doesn't have a risk, but he doesn't have to risk his life to give a seed. It ain't nothing. So in a way, again, it's not the same.
So again, to biology, that's biology. That's fine. That's what I say eradicate the premise of double standards existing in biology, because that's just how it works. You cannot change it. Although people have tried to play God and go around it, it's going to come back to the beginning, back to the drawing board. That's why I say get rid of the idea of double standard for biology. If she gets pregnant, we know why. Because it came from him. Or if he catch a STD and he was clean and she wasn't, we know why. It came from her. We totally get it. I get it. I understand. We're clear on that. Now let's get to the societal part. If you are engaging with somebody that's not committed to you, especially when it comes to my body, my choice. And the same thing goes for the men, by the way, but we can talk about that later. You're going to engage in those activities, you have to understand as an adult that a baby could potentially come from that. It's not a guaranteed, it's a potential. And if it does happen, choices breed outcomes. Outcomes can sometimes lead to consequences. So whatever is chose to be done in that format, it is what it is. If you don't like the outcome, that could have been prevented in the beginning, and that goes both ways. I want to keep the baby. Oops, my bad. Let me see who's in the comment section on YouTube. I'm sorry. Oh, nobody. So you can. Oh, hey Cheyenne. Oh, not Cheyenne. I said Shy. China, baby. Hey China, how you doing, sweetheart? Um, when it comes to a woman, I'm keeping a baby. Nurse said, I'm out. She has to live with that L. Nurse said, get rid of the baby. No, I'm gonna keep it. Nurse gotta live with that L. So it's not double standards because choices breed outcomes. It goes both. It did whatever the outcome comes of that. It can literally be applied to both sides.
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm a man, I can say, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna show up. I'm not gonna acknowledge the child. I'm gonna lawyer up. I'm gonna pay you that little $350 a month based on taxable income. I'm gonna set up this LLC, and that's all you're gonna get for the next 18 years. There's ways that the man can minimize the fallout, but there's very little way.
It's not a double standard though.
It is, because it's disproportionate to the point of where the woman is taking on a lot more risk stepping out on the side than the man is.
Oh, when you say stepping out on the side, are we talking about? Okay, then maybe I'm
What's the bigger risk? I'm curious.
Oh, go ahead, Swan.
No, I just wanted him to elaborate. What is the bigger risk?
You stretching your body out. You potentially getting another C-section scar. You might die. If you survive it, you got to pay the hospital bill. You got to drag him to court. It's a lot. I mean, a lot of these women, that's what the main complaint on social media is. He left the situation, and then of course we found out later that she was on the side, and that's why he left.
So this is worst case scenario, right? So let's not factor in court and babies and maternal death, right? Because that's worst case scenario. It's a very small percentage of women that they get pregnant every time they have sex, right? And it's a small percentage of women that are dying from having babies. Black women typically, although we have the highest mortality rate, we pretty much we shoulder through unless we have health issues. But that being said, outside of getting pregnant and possibly dying, or being a side chick, or being with a bum you got to take to court, what is the risk? Take those off the table.
Okay, so the risk is going to be social. So again, where do your allegiances lie? So let's say the man that you was with, and again, this is not okay. I'm just doing this for illustrative purposes. He was a blood gang member, and then the side dude, you found out his family is affiliated with Crips. Now you have created a potential war situation. Like
let's not go to extremes. I think we can. Yeah, let's not go to extremes. You talking about Bloods and Crips? I was like, hold on. I think we can have this conversation amongst regular folks, because I think regular folks go through this stuff just as well. So let's stick to that. But real quick, let me read this. China said, I mean, there's still STDs that are incurable that you can get, bro. STDs like HIV. Why is this not pulling up? We go faster. STDs like HIVs are at an all-time high. Yes, they are.
Yes, but I would venture to say that with that being said, that's a potential for both men and women. That's not just women that are getting diseases. Like these women are sleeping with men, these men are sleeping with women, and they're transmitting this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like the risk by being promiscuous, it's the same. It's an equal dice roll for both sexes. I'm sorry for the wind. I'm outside, but
it's all good.
But yeah, in my opinion, I think it's an equal risk. So, I don't think every woman wants to date Chris or content for their money. I don't think every woman is trying to see what they can get out of you. I don't believe that. I believe a lot of these women are working. Some of these women are working 2 jobs. A lot of these women are doing Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft, to make ends meet. We're not looking for a come up. We're industrious. And so the women that y'all should potentially be dealing with, I'll go back to my original statement. Y'all want the little waist, big butts. You know what I'm saying? I have neither. I'm okay with that. It served me well. My body has served me well for the 46, 47 years I've been alive. So I'm not complaining. But what I'm saying is y'all go after these materialistic women that have an appearance that they want to keep up. They got to get their nails done. They got to get their lashes done. They got to get their weave done. They need to go shopping. They only want to dine at fine restaurants. They can't go to Wendy's or McDonald's. They can't go to Applebee's or Olive Garden. Y'all strive for these women and then cry when they do you dirty, when your money falls flat. Like, hopefully that never happens to y'all, but it's the ponds that y'all are fishing in. So if a man gets done dirty by a woman, he signed up for it. And I would say the same for a woman. You chasing behind a dude because he looked good and he dogged you out. You knew he had holes before you got with him. So what did you think was going to happen?
So Swan, I wanted to. I'm gonna go to you, Provoke.
Let me say this real quick, then I'm gonna give it to Provoking. Ami said in the chat, men will do mental gymnastics to get out of accountability. I think that was a shot at nerd, but let's give it to Provoking.
Nah, I just wanted to hit back at what Swan said, or said it rather. So Swan, I gotta push back, baby. So women are more significantly affected when it comes to intercourse between a man and a woman. They will contract the disease much quicker. How do we know this? Open womb, right? Science tells us that the bacteria inside of, especially a black woman, oh my God, her microbes inside of her vagina is far more diverse than any other race out there. Literally, this is on paper. And so it's because of the diversity in her gut, not her gut microbiome, excuse me, the diversity inside of the vagina canal, as well as the mucosa. The mucosa itself, we do know that inside of a woman, these act like a bag or a vacuum rather. When it comes to having sex, it will literally hold the sperm, what is it? Yes, let's just say the sperm. It will hold the sperm, the semen. It will hold. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for, baby. It will hold the semen. It will hold any type of bacteria that the man had on the surface of the shaft of his penis, whatever. Whereas the man, he wouldn't have that issue. So it is a big risk that women take whenever it comes to intercourse.
Okay, so can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, ladies, and please don't take this the wrong way. Y'all have to be intellectually honest when we having this conversation, because saying that the risk is equal is not equal at all. Men can get pregnant, and women can die during pregnancy. That ends that conversation. That's the best one liner. You can die giving birth. I don't know too many cases of a man who died during birth. Like, what did he choke on a Twinkie or something? Like, you can actually die. And if you're a black woman, there's a higher probability that you will die during childbirth. There are a lot of different things, right? I just saw some content before I came in this room, Chris, and there was a woman who was complaining about $400 child support. Mind you, this woman is married, right? So you complaining that $400 ain't enough. But guess what? The court set the amount, and your child's father is paying it. So imagine you say you want to go to court to put him on child support and he pays it. That lets me know that there was a possibility you guys could have worked something out outside the courtroom. But you wanted to go to the courtroom and it still ain't enough. And you got a husband. And you said, well, my child does taekwondo. My child does this. My child does that. Well, the court is only taking in consideration this man's earning. This is who you chose to let blast raw, as Nurse Swag likes to say it, to inject his human genotype, his DNA, inside of your medical lab, for lack of better words. But this is who you chose to deal with. Now you're complaining about the results, even though he's adhering to the court order. And so, ladies, it's gonna always be a bigger risk for you, because once the babies get here, it's too many factors just out of your control. You get what I'm saying? And in the same situation, her husband calls the actual father child his child, right? So now you're talking about situations where kids are being alienated and the father doesn't have access, saying that he needs to do more and he's not allowed to be around the child on certain things. Even though he's following the court order, you're alienating him and not allowing him to come around certain events, birthdays, and things like that as your way of punishing him. And so, it is what it is. A lot of men are just going to say, okay, these are the type of games you want to play. I'm going to pay my child support and I'll catch up with my child at 18 and we'll figure it out. Because we know what's going to happen once that child finally meets the father. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they'll be able to figure something out. But once their relationship get back strong, their relationship that stepfather think he had built is going to eventually slowly deteriorate, because it's not natural for another man to take care of somebody's child. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great thing, but it's just not natural. So that's all I really have to contribute. So women, please stop saying that it's equal, because I can have 10 kids and go out here and date. You have 2 kids, you pretty much damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? There aren't too many men that's ready to sign up to take care of 2 kids that's not theirs. I can have 10 kids and you never meet them because they all live with their mamas.
Right. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know if provoking has kids, but I know the top three don't have any. Well, no, I'm lying. Chris has a child. The fact of the matter is, most women now, these social media hyped up situations, hypotheticals, one-offs, anecdotal situations where you're dating somebody who only make minimum wage and they only got to pay $100 a week. Most women worth their weight in salt aren't dating those men. They're not getting pregnant. They're not sleeping with those men. Most women aren't sleeping with gang members. Most women aren't sleeping with dope dealers. These are one-off situations. So in the real grand scheme of things, on a large number average, right? Most women and men are dealing with who they are in peer groups with, who they are economically somehow peers of. With that being said, if they do happen to have a baby, most men and women, like, I'm not even going to include myself because I don't have those problems. Like, I literally don't, you know. I only have those problems on this app where men are trying to tell me what I am worth, but they don't take a look in the mirror to see what exactly their worth is. They feel that because that they are men and that they don't have children and they make a certain amount of money, that makes them valuable. It doesn't. It doesn't make you valuable. And if it did, you wouldn't be by yourself upset at the women that you can't get. So the original premise of the conversation was that a woman left a man. What was it, Chris? He ran out of money. Is that what happened? The man ran out of money, right?
Oh, from Quick Hits. No, it's not that he ran out of money, but she was just with them for 2.5 years just to get the money and the gifts out of him. Are you talking about Nurse example?
Okay. Now, this woman, does she have a job?
I'm gonna assume no.
Okay. So this man saw a baddie, quote unquote, and decided, you know, this is what I got to do to keep her. This is what I got to do to make sure she don't run off with another man with some money. You know what I'm saying? And she still left. Like, you know, y'all got to stop leading with your pocketbooks. Y'all got to stop leading with your wallets because um, you're gonna get used. We're gonna spend your money. I say we collectively as women, but I'm not that type of woman. But if I were, if that was my claim to fame and that's how I got down, then that's how I'm gonna get down. You know, and if you want a wholesome woman that's not out here trying to sleep with men for their money, perhaps you may want to change what you're looking for aesthetically from these women. Or you may want to, you know, be a little bit more selective, or, you know, I don't know. But to sit up and say that all these women are out here unable to find a man, and men don't take care of stepkids, and your value, your value is down because you got a baby. Like, I'm okay with how you feel, but the truth of the matter is, there are men that do not care. There are men who love other men's babies because they love that woman, and that's a fact. So a lot of y'all probably had stepfathers. A lot of y'all had y'all mama's boyfriend going with y'all to the basketball games and picking you up from wherever the fuck you was at when you was a kid. So y'all got to stop that bullshit, man. Y'all love to go on this worst case scenario to try to demean and denigrate women. But at the end of the day, y'all really ain't shit. I'm sorry. Y'all really ain't shit, and y'all mad that y'all ain't shit. And now you want to make me ain't shit because I got a kid. Hey, yo, I feel like that's a blessing. That's a blessing. But you know, I'm not gonna go out too far. Go ahead.
So let me read. Hold on. Let me read this real quick. China on YouTube. He's not wrong about the biology of us being more susceptible to catching STDs, but to what Swan was saying, she said that's exactly why some of us childless women that are not checking for men with kids. So she wanted to highlight just she was taking contents premise and saying I could do the same thing myself by saying I don't, as a childless woman, I don't want a man with kids. That's what I wanted to add. But content, go ahead.
I say all the time, an attractive woman is gonna get attention no matter what her situation is. If you look good enough, you can have 5 kids, and it's gonna always be men knocking on your door. I say this all the time. attractiveness and submission is the equalizer. But we can all agree it gets to a point to where a woman have so many kids, it's almost egregious for a man to be with her, right? You got kids. If your son showed up and said, "Hey, mama, this is my new girlfriend. She got 8 kids." I'm going to the extreme to prove a point because at some point the point is going to get proven. Like the point is going to get proven. I've dated a woman that had 3 kids before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't commit to her, but I was willing to commit to her. And this same woman admitted to me that she cheated on the last dude that she was with when she had 3 kids, who was paying all the bills with her bum ass baby daddy, who wasn't doing nothing for her. And she didn't have a reason. Oh, he just got to her one night. Her dude was out of town because he was a truck driver just like me. And the nigga that won't give you nothing to help the kids, you cheat on him with the nigga doing everything. So what I'm saying is, I'm not trying to read you for filth. I'm not trying to say that women that have these children, they ain't worth such and such. But what I'm saying is, most of the time, once a woman have kids, they more than likely finna get with a dude who already got kids, already got a situation, who cool with it. But what I'm saying is, there's so many men who don't have kids. You put yourself in a category to where a lot of dudes only see you as recreational. And I'm speaking in general. I'm not directing it towards one person. And I want women to be more honest for the simple fact that these younger women need to understand this, that you take yourself out of certain different pools. You know what I'm saying? Like in the dating pool, there's more than one pool. You got the anything go pool, you got the casual fun pool, you got the I'm free tonight pool, you got a I'm figuring shit out pool, and you got the I'm looking for marriage pool. The more kids you got, you can take yourself out of I'm looking for marriage. A lot of these women out here are looking to use men. But make no mistake, these dudes are not dumb. The men who are leading with their money, they're not being fooled. So when y'all say, y'all gotta stop leading with your money, these women taking advantage of you. You think this nigga smart enough to make all of this money, but dumb enough to not know what the fuck going on? These men know.
Well, then why they crying, Constance? But why are they crying? If they're so smart.
If I have another question for content too, in addition to yours, Swine, and answer them in position as you please, content. And Chris, you can answer this too as well. This is mainly a man's question. So, just being fair, in terms of value, a woman have 2 kids. Are there equal value in that situation, or the man still have more value than the woman?
It's never going to be the same. But listen, there are there are there are different I like to call it badges, right? There's different badges that people can get that will make everything else not even fucking matter, right? There are some men that are so obsessed with women with fat asses, they'll take a woman with a fat ass who okay, I got to pick from these women. Give me the one with the fat ass, right? Then you got other women who will, okay, these are the men who are in my circumference. You know what? I'm not really feeling all of them, but you know what? I never dated a dude who made 300K. I'm gonna use him as a placeholder, or I might even eventually start taking him serious over time. The more shit that he do for him, that's how people are dating now. So the point that I'm saying is, it's never the same, because if a man show up and he has money, that's the end all be all. I could have 15 kids, but if I got 15 kids and a bag, I'm more valuable than a nigga with no kids and average money, especially if I'm willing to spend it. You kind of get what I'm saying? So that's where the dating market gets disproportionate, because it's never going to be equal, because there's going to be things that can always sway the tides, if that makes sense.
That make a whole lot of sense. Swine, if you're available, I would like to hear your perspective. Or any woman.
I'll let another woman speak. Hey, Tara, welcome to the stage. We're talking about the value of women. Now, I don't know if Tara has kids or not. I don't know if she's married. I don't know any of her background. But, you know, everybody on here knows that I'm not married. Everybody knows that I've never been married. Everybody knows I have a gaggle of children, right? My thing is, all of my kids' fathers get along. All my kids play together. And it's weird to me to hear these one-off horrible situations of blended families. No man has ever said to me, hey, you know what, Swan, you cool and everything, and I dig you, but man, you got too many kids, I can't fuck with it. Typically, that's the first thing that I tell a man, is how many kids I got. I'm single, I own my house, whoop-de-wop, I work a lot. And a man decides right then and there if he could take it or he could leave it. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never like, oh no, you ain't worth nothing, and this. Like, y'all go to these extremes on this app. I only hear these extreme situations on this app. Legitimately.
So let me
I agree with you on that.
go ahead, Philly.
No, I wanted to speak on what she said earlier. It's a lot of men that I know that do deal with women that have multiple children is because that woman is in a better position than them. That woman got a house and a car, and they get to live with her. And that's the majority of men that I've seen, just period. If they didn't have a woman, they wouldn't have nowhere to be. They can't stand on their own too. So they will take those women that have multiple kids because they got a place to stay and a car to drive. But that's all I want to say.
So it's not that he naturally want to be with the woman. It's just the fact that he have a place of safe haven.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's broke nigga shit.
I was just gonna say, I think it depends on the woman. I know women and men are different, like in the dating market, like the dating atmosphere. Women's value is different than men. Like Constance said, sometimes like with men that have money, they do have like a variety of options, and like with women, our value is usually in the way that we act and the way that we look. So those are the things that that's how we get picked, I guess. But the kid stuff, like I was recently like a man did approach me, like I was with my kids, and he was just like being nice, and he said, I was like a little taken back that he was trying to holler at me with my kids, but I was like, I don't know. But I did notice that he was like an older guy, so I'm like, I don't know if older men are different when it comes to girls with women with kids. But he was trying to talk to me because he kept telling me, "Oh, you're such a nice lady. You're such a nice lady. I would love to get to know you and all that stuff." So I really don't know. Like, I think maybe older men,
That's
don't have a problem with it. I don't know. What you say?
No, I was agreeing. So you typically find older men, they're more established in life, and what I mean by that is, they have been through several situations. As far as dating goes, they kind of have their mind made up, and typically what they are looking for is peace, right? Whereas a young man, he don't have a clue. Majority of the time, what the fuck anxiety, stress, and depression looks like. This man most likely have, being that he's 40, 50 something years old, most likely he have, right? Like, that's the number one, anxiety, the number one disease, mental disease in America. So a young man, he's going to tolerate certain things that an older man is not going to tolerate. So when he approach you and say, man, you seem like you're a nice woman, he's thinking this woman have peace. And now, in addition to all of that, he most likely have kids as well. Again, he's been around the block already. He understands. Everybody most likely have kids. You may have kids. He just wants some damn peace at this point. I remember being in my early 20s to content's point. Well, this kind of goes against content point on the slick. There was this bad chick, man. She was, stupid bad. I'm in my early 20s. She had 5 kids, content. To your point, I was only knocking her down for recreational purposes. I didn't want anything serious with her, even though she was bad. Chick was bad. She was the body of a 10. But she had 5 kids once again. I didn't want nothing to do with that. So it was only recreational use for me. Having she not have had kids, content, I would have married that woman. You see what I'm saying? So even to that point, like, you can be bad, but you have X amount of kids. Nigga don't want to deal with it like that. It's only to your point, recreational use.
That's my overall point to women. You should, once you have kids, you should be requiring a relationship for access to your body, because there are men who will who will put you in a rotation and never tell you. Just like how we get put in a friend zone, women will get put in a rotation zone. And they will be thinking, they will be asking questions like, what are we? Thinking that it's going to be something that it's never going to be. He decided from day one that the only thing he wants from you is between your legs. We've all been there. You get what I'm saying?
So here's the thing. Let me read this. China, shout out to China, holding it down on YouTube. A man with kids that he's not taking care of looks extremely irresponsible and is unattractive. I will question why he didn't marry the baby mother. She also says women without kids need to stay far away from men with kids. You gotta stay in your lane, LOL. So here's the thing with what Provoking was just saying. He said she had 5 kids. That's the only reason why um he didn't marry her. China and other women I know will say, I didn't marry him because he has 5 kids. You can't then shame her and say it's a double standard. That's non-existent. You have your principles of why you want to take date with somebody with 5 kids. They have their own. That's how they cancel each other out.
No, that's why I asked the question earlier, Chris. Nah, bro. That's why I asked the question earlier. Two people, man and woman. She have 2 kids. He have 2 kids. The thing is this: whether we want to agree with it, I think there was a clubhouse room about a week ago where they said, "Does the title was does social media dictate the way of society nowadays?" It does. Fuck it. That's another form of media. If there's a high profile case of a murder situation going on, you already know media about to get involved and get people emotionally involved and disturbed in order to convict this guy, even if he's innocent. That's just the way it is. So in the exact same sense, there's social constructs that does governs the way people behave and look at life from the everyday basis. I believe content answered it very beautifully. You got 2 men, 2 women. I mean, 1 man, 1 woman, 2 kids on both sides. Who have the most value? Who have equal value? Who have less value? He said it's gonna offset every time. I truly believe that. He couldn't have broken down more
So
profoundly.
here's the problem with that. Whoever has more value is dictated on what I deem to be valuable. That's it.
Explain.
Meaning,
that's subjective. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Meaning, the woman with no children may be less valuable than a woman with 2 children. Now, some people will say, how?
Chris, that's moving the goalposts.
No, it's not, and I can tell you why. Because whether they have a child or not doesn't dictate her value to me. And because it doesn't dictate their value, that means putting that to the side, what else do you guys have that's going to make this relationship make sense to me? And then we go down the list. One has a resume as far as something substantial, of course, and the other one is still stuck in her dad's house, barely hopping off the porch. It's like, no, because I would have to take time to teach you something. But quite frankly, I'm not in the business of trying to teach an adult. That's a child, a dependent. And I'm not doing that, respectfully. This woman who already been out the porch, yes, she has 2 kids, but she's still self-sufficient, she's still independent, the kids are taken care of. And she has probably other aspirations to do other things. So based off of that premise, who's then more valuable? Obviously, the woman with 2 kids because she's game ready. The other one has barely joined the practice squad.
But Chris, this is why I say you moved the goalposts. That wasn't the talking point. The talking point was you said that a man cannot judge this woman for having kids.
Is that him or me?
And then you compared it to a single woman.
I'm wrong. Start from the beginning.
Can you hear me now? Am I choppy?
You was, but you're good now. Go ahead.
No, I say this is why I say you was moving the goalposts, because at first you said, hey, man, you can't judge her for having kids just as much as you have kids. You can't talk about her value system. You have kids, she have kids. But then in your submission, you compare that single woman, I mean, a mother who have kids to a single woman now. That wasn't the talking point.
So here's the thing, because people put value into the kids and they say, I'm gonna make my decision solely based off of the kids. Then the gender, it should not be gender based then. That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah. So we're talking with Chris, that's what we're dealing with here. That's literally what we're dealing with here. We're talking about double standards. So it's on topic. It wouldn't be a double standard if it be woman on woman, woman on man.
So
again,
let me all right then let me show you how I did this. I'll flip it around. She has 2 kids. Well, like I said earlier, she has 5 kids. You said no. That's your prerogative. You shouldn't be judged based off of that. Now, let's flip it. You have 5 kids. She says no. She shouldn't be judged off of that. She shouldn't be hit. It's a double standards. You should accept it and go marry him. If you didn't want to marry homegirl with 5 kids, don't expect a childless woman to go marry a man with 5 kids.
I don't think he will cry over that. He just move on. That's why I talked about again value, right? That's very important. A man, majority of the time, listen, if she rejects him because of his situation regarding his kids, again, that's why I ask content and yourself. Value. Do he lose value? That's very important. Because if I'm a woman and I lose value and it's because of my kids, shit, both of them can't change anything, but it comes down to this. How likely am I to get in a situation that I desire or want? A man, he have a high percentage of doing that. A woman, she may not, like content was saying earlier, you may not fall into that category. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule. But there's a significant probability that you cannot have the man that you want and the family that you desire because of the situation, and that's what we're dealing with.
And what I highlight, and China said this in the chat, and I agree, because what she's saying, in my eyes, they both have the same value. So that also means they could gain the same value, they could lose the same value. It doesn't matter because one is a man and one is a woman. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I brought up social constructs. So
and I'm glad you did. And here's the thing about social constructs. That's all they are, constructs. What is your foundation? What is your principle? What is your foundation and what? Hold on, Tara. 1 second. One second, Tara. What is your foundation and what is your principle? All of that overrides anything society says outside of that front door. That's why I always say principality over legality. Because I keep using this example, and this is also a checkmate, not against you, because you cool people. I have no issues with you, and thank you for coming in and supporting. Because some people go by society, which includes the law. And guess what? In certain states, the law says the age of consent is 16. I'm saying this. I'm not touching no fucking teenager at all. So, and for the record, ladies and gentlemen, that's not what Provoking say or anybody on my stage is saying. I'm using that as a hypothetical. None of these words should be misconstrued. So what I'm saying is, I'm going based off of what I believe in. I don't care what the law is. I'm okay with that. Because the law says you're an adult that's 18. I don't believe that shit. You're still a teenager. So you just like you are at 19. I refuse to give you adult privileges at 18 and 19. That ain't going to happen. So by principle alone, if Provoking says, I'm not talking to a woman with 5 kids, respect that man. Same principle applies. If a female, China, I'll use China on the YouTube side. If she says, I'm not talking to a man with 5 kids, that's a principle, respect that. Nobody should throw in the car double standards just to make them change their mind and move off of their principle. I don't condone that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris, and again, this is not aimed at Chris's rebuttal.
No, I got you.
I am simply saying that it does not work like that, regardless of how we feel. It's unfortunate. That's why I brought up the scenario about media being influenced, social media being influenced. Why? It is involved to get people. It is added to get people emotionally involved. So this does play a huge role in our everyday life. So if society deems something to be bad, it's bad. Good is good. It's black and white, just like that. So unfortunately, we want to, because it sounds cute and it look cute on paper. That's just not how it goes. So bringing it back to it, if society say, listen, her value is a lot lesser than the man, though they both have equal amount of kids, then that's just the way it is, unfortunately. And we have to take that shit to the chin.
Well, with that, because you said society, and because in media, I always say this. I might spin the block. We might go. We might come back later on today for this. If that's just influence. Influence doesn't mean nothing when it comes to the authority, and your principal is always going to take authority over your influence. But let me give it to Tara, then we got to give it to Jay, and then we got to give it to Cyber because we got to eventually start doing a hard out soon. Tara, what's up?
No, I was just gonna say I do kind of agree with provoking, and I have kids, and I know that my value as far as like getting like I know that I may not be like top tier, because I have been married before, and like so I understand that, and I think a woman's value is different than a man's value in the world because our natural use is like women are here to be nurturers and things like that, and men are here to be providers. So like men having children, that does not stop their value because they can still, especially if they're still making money and still like doing well for themselves, a woman was still fine and valuable no matter how many kids they have. But with a woman, it is different because for a man wants to usually start a family of his own. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
That's fine, but I also seen the flip side. That's all I say. I also seen the exact opposite. But Jay, are you there? Jay's not by his microphone. It's all good. Cyber, how you doing? Cyber was just by her microphone, but it's all good. China from YouTube has this Tara, no ma'am. I believe she's on the same spot on the totem pole as a man. Someone is going to see value in her, period. And that's ultimately what I'm saying because you cannot, and this is not against anybody in the room. You cannot give in to what society says. I dictate society. There's some things that I do, ladies and gentlemen, that society would not appreciate. They will fight against. I always tell society, if you feel that strongly about it, you know what you need to do. But society in itself is not strong enough to stop me. This is what I believe in. These are my rules that I follow by to society. The door is literally unlocked. You could come at any time and stop me or force me to give into what societal structure is. And they have failed every single time. The law says do not speed over 35. Christopher Joseph Uguar will tell him himself, I go over 35. That is a conscious decision that I make, and I will live with the outcomes because of it. You do not have to give it to what society says. If society says this is what you need to do, you have to determine if that makes sense or does that compromise what you got going on as far as your belief system. If it doesn't, cool. But if it does, stand on what you believe in. That is all. That is literally all I'm saying. So once you take society out of the picture and you focus on what's um, actually more substantiating, what actually makes sense, then that's when you start to see life through a different uh, perspective. And because of that, you start to realize how the world is supposed to operate and how you don't cater to the world. It's supposed to cater to you because this is what I believe. That's what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, we're, any final words before we go to the last topic? Because we got to do a hard out in 15 minutes. And I might keep the clubhouse room open. I'll let Moa, Content, Swan, and Terrell run the room. But cause like I said, I gotta do a hard out. But I appreciate the conversation, guys. Thank you for that. One more thing before we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I know this not to make this sound like some afternoon special or after school special. Excuse me. Um, as adults, parents to be exact, we always got to do things. Um, we always get hit with curveballs. We always get hit with the monkey wrench. I said this before. When it comes to marriage, there's no such thing as a sacrifice at all because you know what you was getting yourself in when you signed up for it. So you just gotta. It's called a call of duty. You got to answer that call when it comes up. Um, I won't go into too much details, but the that call just hit me. Um, I would say yesterday, maybe last week, possibly last week. There are going to be some changes, and the ultimate sacrifice that I have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I have to walk away from my employer to prioritize to attend to my son. He's in good condition. Don't worry, he's fine. So let me just throw that out there. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm leaving a comfort zone that literally kept the house and the livelihood spinning. But because of this, I have to do a quick change right on the just like that. The reason I'm bringing this up because I on my way to getting that call, I would say last week, I've been hearing conversations about how mothers and or fathers are not going to make any changes because of whatever monkey wrench hits their life. We're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep striving, and not knowing that the children are suffering. And when they do find out the children are suffering, they blame the children and they keep it striving. And ultimately, it led the child, those children, to a situation that they can't come back from. Unfortunately, as a man that appreciates consistency in his life, meaning I don't like things changes. I like things set up, and I don't want that to be altered. Um, monkey wrench monkey wrenches are never a good thing that I go through. Yes, yes, Cyber. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm about to land the plane, and I'm gonna give the clubhouse room to you guys. Um, with some of these changes that's going on, y'all, it's like I said, it could be a scary thing. It could be whatever it can be. But like I said, it's one of these times where you need. I'm reminded that we been here, we prepare for this. Let's put God first. Well, He's already been first, and let's let everything flow that the way it needs to flow because it's here for a reason. And we're not going to run away from no challenge. We're going to do this head on. It could be temporary, it could be permanent, but either way, I'm built for it, and we're just going to keep it done like that. So I want to say to all the parents out there, when it's time when you get the call, it's time to make the change. Make the change. Do not run. Do not run. Do not be stagnant. Do what you got to do. There's no such thing as a sacrifice when it comes to marriage. There's no such thing as a sacrifice when it comes to parents because you knew what you was getting yourself into when you got this position. So this is a call of duty. Answer the fucking call. And that is last call, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm gonna give it. I'm mute my mic. Clubhouse. You guys got it.
Wait, can I get modded?
Uh,
With the modded. They'll kick me out.
why would they kick you out, sweetheart?
Just because they're assholes. I don't know their cons.
Who do you who out of the moderators? Who do you know?
I love Swan perfectly. Terror never did anything to me. Contest would kick me out. He's done it before.
What?
Jeez,
Cyber, what did you do? Talk to me. You can be honest with me. Just between us. What did you do?
okay, nothing. I was a good person. I came.
Chris, I don't even know who this is.
Oh, okay then.
Exactly. See, that's how much of a terror.
If I kicked her out, she did something to get kicked out.
Doesn't even
I
remember.
don't even remember.
Yeah, he doesn't even remember. Isn't that bad?
Then cyber. If he doesn't remember, then I think you have a clean slate. Okay.
Okay, but he will. He'll write on the type of content will chew my ass up.
Okay, what is your takes on certain topics? Are they controversial? Are they triggering? Huh?
Somali. Like, imagine me being Somali is a crime. Like, Jesus.
Moa is Somalian.
Who's
Galtar is Somalian.
First of all, we call ourselves Somalis. See, the fact that nigga never checked y'all by calling us
Well, I said Somali. I usually say Somali, but you are protect. You should be protected in this room. What are your takes that are so controversial that you think will get you thrown out? And my apologies for the mispronunciation.
My only takes that Black Americans need reparations, and they are 25% mixed. Realistically,
did we ever have a reparation conversation in this room? Let me think about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys are not Tariq Nasheed. That's my op. But there's certain people that are my ops by default. Like, that's what I'm saying. Content was my op.
Well, I put it like this, Cyber. Here are your three. Here are your 5 topics. You can talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock about to do a one-on-one interview with ABC News.
First of all, fuck Will Smith and Chris Rock. I hate both of them.
Right on. Second topic: Zendaya, Tom Holland got married, but that's a short lived.
Oh my god.
Third topic: a woman was with this one person for 2.5 years, only for money and notoriety. The other topic, the other topic we were just talking about was the house double standards are your downfall because essentially they don't exist when you have foundations of principle. So,
which double standards are you talking about? Which ones?
anything, all of them. You can I'm gonna let you guys throw it on the floor, and you guys can have that conversation.
Actually, what double standards that us women have?
Men and women.
Okay, but tell me from POV of a man.
It's the we would like, for example, the last example we just did, a gentleman just said that.
You're in the Matrix. Wait, you sound like you're in the Matrix. Sorry.
That's crazy because I'm at the house. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, good brother. I hear you.
Okay, cool.
Waking up out of nowhere. Shut up.
Cyber, can you hear me?
God, listen with man ears.
So Cyber, so here's an example of a double standard. A man says he's not going to marry a woman that has 5 kids.
Yeah, who would?
Follow me on this one. Now follow me on this one. Okay. A woman, and like I said, hold on, we'll keep going. A woman who has no kids, if she come across a man with 5 kids, they say she should. Now she's gonna say no, I'm not gonna marry her. But men would say it's a double standard that you should marry a man with 5 kids, or you should get with a man with 5 kids.
Wait, let me look at your name. Yeah, Christopher. No, it's not. It just shows sexual discipline on people. So if I never had a kid, why would I deal with somebody that had a kid? Like,
that's good. No, I have no problem with that. But some people say because of double standards, a woman should get with a man that has a lot of kids because of insert all the reasons here to justify the reasoning for a woman to get with a man with kids versus a man getting a woman with 5 kids. They say that's a bad thing if a man do that, but it should be a good thing if a woman does it.
What you talked was pick me women, male-centered women. For them, a man, they have scarcity mentality. Like, I'm sorry, I speak like 2 languages or English, but scarcity is exactly the word I could use.
Scarcity.
Yeah, scarcity.
Yeah, scarcity. Am I getting it right? It is exactly how those women feel. They're in a limbo when they think niggas is out of
whack. And it's just like, you know, the exercise I used to do back in the day when I was on Spaces with bitches was, hey, can you do me a favor and flirt with your Amazon package? Easy.
So, so Simon, give me 1 second because, like I said, I got to do a hard out because we are broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. So let me do this hard out. Now, so let me do this hard out. Don't worry, they can see me. They can't see you guys at all. So let me do this, and I'm gonna give you guys the clubhouse stage. I'm gonna let my moderators take over. So to those on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I took the day off. I got a lot of things I gotta take care of, and I'm gonna get things done. Like I said, the wheels are gonna keep spinning in my house because I'm willing to make the not sacrifice. Excuse me. I'm willing to make the adjustments and do what I gotta do. When, like I said, when that Call of Duty comes, the call hits me, I gotta answer and I gotta jump to it. So it's all good. But let's get out of here. You want more content like this? Like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. And we are on our road to 1,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. I will prefer to do a separate episode, do the Cash App giveaway episode once we reach 1,000. But we got to add it to the season 12 premiere of the BTSI show. I guess we'll do it. We're just 7 subscribers away. Once we reach that goal, like I said, we're going to do the Cash App giveaway. 3 runner-ups and 1 grand prize winner. And participate, waive all rights to privacy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Clubhouse, don't go anywhere. We're going to keep the room open. My moderators are going to take care of the role and handle it how they see fit. Other than that, people, BTSI show, Christopher J. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out and enjoy yourself.
Like an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. Doctor? Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like I don't belong.
It's a mess, but hey, don't even worry about it.